I have a story to tell you.
Once upon a time, on a planet far, far away, there lived a life form called Homo sapiens. To the humans, the name of their species meant wise man. And wise they were. Humans had the ability to think as no animal ever had before. They were self-aware. They could employ reason and feel love. Humans also had a very special gift, for between all of them, there was an invisible thread that connected them together. A thread of experiences, hopes, dreams, and fears. But humans also had a detrimental downfall. They loved power, and for some, their love of power overrode their connection to other humans. They saw a powerful tool in the nature of their species, and used it to control others. The humans became violent, and they battled back and forth for power. The species went forth for 50,000 years, and the two faces of humanity never stopped fighting. For the passion of those who held to the thread was just as strong as those who sought to destroy it. Amongst the battles to live in peace, the fight to control sexuality was regarded as especially important, for to control the way that humans use their sexuality was to control an essential piece of every human being on planet Earth. For a long time, it seemed like the power-hungry had won. They convinced them that exploring and using their sexual capacities was somehow deviant or wrong. They illustrated sexuality as dangerous and disruptive, even among wholly consenting adults. That self-pleasure was wrong, and only specific types of sex, under the consent of various institutions, was okay. They convinced them that their bodies were ugly, and they began surgically modifying millions of men and women. They pushed their material inventions upon their fellow humans, and told them that for a simple exchange of time and money they could be more beautiful. And while they were oppressive, their strategies were smart, and they worked. Humans across the globe began to feel disattached from their bodies and their sexuality. They began to hate them. The spell was working. But over time, some humans realized what was happening. They panicked. How can we lose this piece of ourselves? They said. We're humans, and the ability to use our bodies freely is not only a right, it's a necessity. This later turned into what we now call the sex-positive movement. Voices everywhere began to surface. They spoke of bodies and sexuality. They said, bodies are amazing, all different kinds. The number of shapes, sizes, and colors that humans come in is beautiful. Beauty must be defined as what we are, or else the concept itself is our enemy. To see beauty is simply to learn the private language of meaning, which is another's life. We must celebrate sexual diversity and the diversity of desire and relationships and individual choices. We must put emphasis on the necessity of consent. It's essential that we educate each other in spite of the oppositional forces that are against us. We have to break out of the cage we were put in. We have to give power back to individuals. Else we lose an essential piece of ourselves. But it was a tough fight. Across their world, humans were still more comfortable seeing men holding guns instead of holding hands. Hating one's body was more accepted than loving it. And those who did love their bodies were shamed by those around them. How dare you love your body, they asked. You're not perfect. And to this the liberators replied, your idea of perfection doesn't exist. It's not real. My body's perfect, and so is yours. It's true that the opponents of free sexuality had big voices, but over hundreds of years positivity circulated, and slowly the tables started to turn. People began to love themselves again. They were restored to their natural state. They were freed. Talk and regard for bodies was open and informed. People were safer, and they were healthier. The human spirit was reconnected. The liberators won. The end.